The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercise before this one, and they're paying off.
They'll go back to Edwards on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Big stop from a guy who can bring a big hit, Nick Bolton.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And they regroup defensively after the broken tackle, getting to him just beyond the 45. Only able to gain a couple there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Well, the Chiefs offense going to make their way out, and at the helm, a now 3-time Super Bowl MVP in his 8th season in the NFL, it's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one nearly picked off. Yeah, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now Mahomes. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Now here's Mahomes. That is caught. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Mahomes now to throw. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Back to throw here, Herbert. That ball caught by the rookie from Georgia. Down the left sideline. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Ladd McConkey, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Chargers are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Deion Henley in there to bring him down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. He'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
I'm darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, this can happen when you get man coverage on a tight end. This is a nice route. He's just going to run a corner to the left side and find some open space. That's asking a lot to make a linebacker run with him. And this ball's on the money as they pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now it's Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and a couple.
Up the middle, here's Edwards. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Herbert now. Open man downfield. It's Palmer.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That's good for 28 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Justin Herbert.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Chargers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And it's now 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Here's Mahomes to throw.
On the slant, DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes, and this is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And he dropped it on the 10, but a little unlucky there. Into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
Right side, he has Johnston.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Herbert. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Joshua Williams with a pick.
And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They've had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got a stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
Now a 2nd and 10.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. He finds Hopkins complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City.
And Xavier Worthy.
A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chiefs have got it back to within a score.
Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
Now for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Possession switching back now to the Chargers. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Charger football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, they go to Edwards. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Open man, it's Palmer.
And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 26. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now 2nd and 9.
They run once more with Edwards. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Herbert. And this is going to be incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And his kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And now here comes Kansas City. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And give him him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Mahomes.
That is caught downfield. It's Worthy.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
And Xavier Worthy
With his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. In the second quarter, and already his second touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 63 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Out of the gun, they give to Edwards.
And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now 3rd down and 7.
Here's Herbert.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
What a game he's having. They've not been able to stop him or even slow him down. He's got 2 touchdowns already. That could have been a third. He's got the secondary coach asking people for answers. Can you help me out? Because we are not slowing him down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On play action, it's Mahomes. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense that looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Mahomes now to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Matt Ariza now.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
75 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Here's Edwards again on 2nd down.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Edwards. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On the handoff, Edwards. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one by.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game.
Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
They'll start the drive here with Pacheco.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. That'll go for a gain of 7, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Second down and 3.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. To throw, it's Mahomes. Caught left side, Hopkins. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Mahomes to throw once more. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes going to throw. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Juju Smith-Schuster on the touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes.
And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it's capped off by the touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Chargers offense and Gus Edwards heading onto the field. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. The Charger drive about to get going. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Back to throw here, Herbert.
On the out route, he finds Johnston.
And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Escaping the pressure right.
Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Now it's Herbert.
Complete to Johnston here.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Herbert now.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Herbert.
He will have the conversion and more than that.
And down to the 27-yard line. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. First down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Short throw to Disley. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And this one is right through, and that'll bring them back within a point. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In the first half, we saw some strong play from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. He threw a first-quarter touchdown pass, then 2 more in the second quarter, a 3-touchdown half. And he may just be getting started.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now here's Mahomes. And hitting Juju on the slant. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing now is Mahomes.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And again, it's Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 20-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, And a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Here's Mahomes to throw. With no hesitations, they go right back to Kelsey. Still going. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelsey, on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
A try here for the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. That time, a 6-play drive.
And it culminates in a Travis Kelsey touchdown.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Charger drive about to get going.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
87 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Edwards. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's Herbert. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's Edwards. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory.
Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 34-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw.
Pass hauled in by Johnston.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now it's Edwards. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Palmer. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11th. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident, because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Looking to throw is Mahomes.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now it's Mahomes again. That is caught. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now Mahomes. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
So naturally they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
On the delay, here's Hunt. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
On the handoff, it's Pacheco.
Fights him off. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco.
An 8-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Point after, right down the middle, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. That time, a 9-play drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Chargers ready to take over.
And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Now this one finds McConkey.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Herbert. That one complete to McConkey.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 2. On the give, it's Vidal.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Justin Herbert looking to pass.
Open man right side, that's McConkey.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Now it's Herbert.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Herbert now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Short throw to Disley. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
Herbert back to the air.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. It's Joshua Williams with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a 1-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here then?
No,
right?
I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Open man, it's Palmer. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, Herbert.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Back to throw. Herbert. His pass caught at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Edwards will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
A shotgun snap for Herbert.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
And his kick here is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now here's Mahomes.
Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing route.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Mahomes now to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Mahomes gives to Hunt. Well, that run good for 6 yards, but they're still looking up at a 3rd and 15. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 42. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Pressure comes and down he goes. Khalil Mack, his 2nd sack of the night.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes.
And this pass caught by Gray.
And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
The Charger drive about to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Short throw to Disley. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
On the ground, it's Vidal.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
2nd down and 8. Again, it's Pacheco.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. So on 4th down, Andy Reid decides to send in the field goal unit. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Herbert and the Chargers down by 15. A minute 50 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Throwing, Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Herbert going to throw. Over the middle and caught by McConkey.
Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Well, they need to score and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute. 1st and 10. Herbert.
And he's got his man in stride, complete.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Now 2nd and 4. Herbert.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here we go. 1st and goal. Herbert to throw.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Now Herbert.
He's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal.
Again, Herbert. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Chiefs are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
What a stand there defensively. They force the 3rd and goal, force them into what they think will be a passing situation, and then they make sure to lock up all the receivers and come away with the interception. Sounds simple, but that was really well done.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.